Hey y'all, welcome to the family that reads a lot. Got a homeschool haul for you today. Um, we didn't need a ton. We've been homeschooling for years, so we have a lot of our base stuff. We don't need a lot of stuff that a lot of public school kids do, as far as like boxes of tissues and boxes of crayons and all of these different things. So it's somewhat of a small haul, but not exactly small, if that makes sense. I let my kids really kind of personalize their stuff and get some of the cute things because I don't have to buy mounds of it. So we can get a little more fun with it. Now, I will say, I got to the register. This is all from Walmart, except for one thing. I got to the register today. We've always generally gone to Walmart for the majority of our school supplies. We get a few things here and there from Target, a few things online, but the big bulk of it has always come from Walmart. I got to the register today and I was like, well, that's not a bad total, right? That's okay. And then I realized that everything we bought fit in basically 3 bags. And I was like, oh, ouch. That kind of makes that total hurt a little worse. So today we spent, okay, because there were some not school related stuff in here, but today I spent basically $100. So everything here is going to be $100. Now, used to most of the school things would be $1. Now, most of them are $3. So a lot of the folders and different things are all like 266, 294, 236, 272, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start adding that up, it adds up. All right, I'm going to jump in first. I have it separated out into my son's, who's 12. I keep wanting to say he's still 11. He's not 11, he's 12. My son, who is 12, and my daughter, who is 9, and then a like group thing that everybody's going to use. So the group stuff, honestly, is where more of the money went. So expo markers, we use these. My daughter has a board that she sometimes will do like math problems on. We have a board in our schoolroom that sometimes they write stuff down on. Haven't bought these in a while, so I'm not really mad about the price or about having to buy them, but they were that expo markers $9 for 12 of these. So that kind of hurt a little bit, but they will be used for many years, not just this year. Our big, beautiful pencil sharpener that we've had for years and years died. It didn't really die. Our rabbit chewed the cord on it, and I was frustrated, so I just threw it away. Looking back, I probably should have just fixed the cord, but whatever. This is a battery powered one, so they've been using the hand crank ones, and that's fine. But I'm usually in a hurry when I need a pencil sharpened and can't find those. And so this is just a double A, the Walmart brand Pen and Gear pencil sharpener, and I think it was like $6, give or take. So that was just something we needed. That same thing, we don't buy that year after year. Um, your good old school pink pearl paper made erasers. All of ours have gotten, you know how they get like squeaky after a few years, so we needed to refresh those. This is Bic Velocity mechanical pencils. So I didn't know that I was picky about mechanical pencils, but last year we bought the .7 lead, and some of their writing and stuff, it was harder to read because it wasn't very bold. These are the .9. We had these a few years ago and I really liked them, but I will say they were not cheap. I think these were $7.23 for 4 of them. So I didn't love that, but they each get 2, and they're pretty good about holding on to these. So that makes it worth it for me to be able to read the math without having to like strain my eyes. Just some assorted binder pockets. So these aren't really like a tab divider, but they serve the purpose of a tab divider because they stick out. And I don't really necessarily need to write stuff. This is more for them to put in their folders. And when they don't necessarily have time to go and 3-hole punch something and everything else, they can just stick them in here. So they're each going to get a couple of these and put them in their binders. This is the Bic Brightliner pastels. These were like $5, which was a little expensive compared to you could get the big packs of, I think it was Sharpie brand, for $7, and they had probably at least double Yeah, I think they had 10. So they had double the amount in here. However, this is kind of self serving. I'm going to have to give my son probably the yellow and the green out of here, and my daughter the pink and the purple, and that'll leave me with the blue and the green, which is fine because I need new Bible highlighters. And the Bible highlighter that I have right now is too dark and it wants to go through the pages because, Bibles have thin pages. So I'm going to try these. I really hope that they don't go through the pages. If they do, then the kids can just use them. But this one, like I said, was a little self serving because otherwise I'd have had to buy a pack for them for stuff and a pack for me for stuff. So I just went with the pastels. Same thing. I had some of those in my cart on Amazon and they were comparable price, so just went for it. Just a couple glue sticks because every year some of ours are dried out and they don't use glue sticks a ton anymore because we've kind of reached that age where we're not doing a lot of cutting and gluing. But every now and then they get crafty or my daughter wants to make something or whatever and we need a glue stick. So a couple of those. The Walmart pen and gear sticky notes, these were like 67 cents a piece, where the post-it ones were $1.20, $1.30, something like that. So they were half the price. I hope they don't suck. I will say that because I do like a sticky post-it note. But if they don't suck, then they were a very good price. If they do, well, then I'm just stuck with it. But hopefully not. This isn't necessarily school related. These are just general Sharpies. They sometimes use them for stuff, but mostly this is for when we package and process our meat. So honestly, this could probably come off the price of that was $5 just for some Sharpies, but I am constantly looking for Sharpies. I don't know where they go. I've probably bought 30 Sharpies since we lived in this house, and I don't know where they go because they're just gone. And they didn't run out, they didn't die because it's really hard to use up an entire Sharpie. Just some filler paper, wide ruled. My son could probably transfer to college ruled, but I don't know. So we went with wide ruled. I definitely know that my daughter needs wide ruled. So I just kept everybody wide ruled. I don't know when they transfer to college line. Is that high school? Is it only in college? Because in college they really don't tell you what you need. You just pick. Anyway, just the super cheap pens. These are my favorite. The old school Bic clear see-through pens. I don't remember how much this was, but I know it wasn't a lot. Yeah, this was $1. This was 97 cents. This is probably the only thing you can still buy for $1 in the school supplies. And these are my pens because I lose pens. I know that I do. I lose them when I go grocery shopping. I lose them when I get in and out of the car. I lose them when I take them places in my pocket. So I lose pens all the time. So I don't like expensive pens. So those are for me. The pen loser. These are just tabs because sometimes I use tabs on their stuff. I wish so these were like $3 and it's not terrible, right? Because I like that they're clear on the one side and then have color, so if you put them over writing you can still read it, but there's not a lot in here. There's only 100 and they go really quick. I need to get on Amazon and see if I can find a better favorite tab. So if you have a favorite tab that you love, this is mostly for tabbing books and very little honestly for school supplies, so another little bit for me that could be taken off the school supplies. But I want some cooler colors. These colors are boring, and the other colors that they had there were boring. And yeah, so if you have a favorite tab, please post it down below and let me know. Good old copy paper because we still print some things, not as much as we used to, but this is now $6, which I guess isn't terrible because it's decent copy paper, but it feels expensive for just plain white paper. Okay, so I guess we'll jump into my daughter's. She kind of has, honestly, the cooler stuff, I guess. This is the one thing that wasn't from this haul. This actually came from Target the other day. We were walking through and she snagged it. It's just a composition book, but she liked the birds and stuff all over, and it's Jalapeno Paper Company, so it's got jalapenos all over the inside. She thought it was cool. So she got that. They use composition books for some things. Now she got this one, which now feeling it, I hope that it's going to hold up as well as those, because this is the Pen and Gear, the wide ruled 80-page composition book, and this was like $3 or something. I want to tell y'all because this is the one that I'm kind of wondering if we shouldn't have gotten a better one. Yeah, this was 284. But the end is square. And you know how composition books work, right? They're kind of sewn together versus a spiral. Let's see. Split it in half. This one's still sewn, but somehow they made the end very square instead of very round like the other ones. So I'll be curious to see if this one holds up as well, because that's the draw of a composition book over a spiral, is the pages almost never fall out. So she uses one for math, usually for like to write in, and then one for spelling, some language arts stuff, general things. They each needed two folders. So one prong folder, and y'all, is this not the cutest thing? So this is where I'm like, take my money, because this was probably same thing as like $3, where normally these would be a dollar, maybe $2 for the colorful ones. They were more expensive this year, but it's a freaking sloth, and it's so cute. She picked this. This is where their writing assignments go in every year. So it's a prong folder, and all of their writing assignments that they either handwrite or they print out or whatever go in here throughout the year. And then we just keep these. And it's awesome because they've gone back year after year and pulled their folder. And I usually write the year on it somewhere. And they've pulled their folder and read their writing assignments or looked through their different stuff. And this is a really cool keepsake. So the fact that she bought a really cute folder is awesome because this one will stick around. Then they get a non-prong folder because it's a little bit wider. Um, and she got this. It's like this is where the $3 things come in, right? All of these are $3. The composition books, the folders, everything. If you want the cute ones, you can get the regular ones for like a dollar. But this is where I'll let them spend a little bit just because it's fun. I'm that nerd kid, right? Like I was so excited to go shopping, to go school supply shopping as a kid. That was one of my favorite things, getting all the cool stuff for school because I love school, and so I loved having all my stuff for it. So anyway, you know, rabbit trail. But this is just a non-prong folder because they put their art stuff in here. Now they each have a sketchbook that a lot of their art stuff stays in, but when they do take it out, or if it's something that came out of their curriculum or something, and we take it out of there, it goes into here. And the non-prong folders give them a wider area for art stuff. They fit usually construction paper and stuff like that. So she got one of those. She needed a compass and protractor because she's going into math 5 with the good and the beautiful. So this was her pick. They had a like metal set that was $5. I think this one was 3, and she picked this one. Not mad. That's one thing I will say. My kids know how to check prices. Like they don't just go in there and ask for a $20 folder or something. They pay attention. Now this was her one I want. This is apparently the thing of the year, I guess, because we've seen these a couple times and she's asked at other stores and I'm like, kid, that's a little expensive. So this is a pencil pouch, right? It's a zipper pencil pouch. But in the front, it's like a crock. So these are holes that you can attach. They're calling these pencil pouch charms, but they're crock charms, right? The ones that you've been able to put on the front of your crocs. She doesn't wear her crocs. She has some, but she doesn't wear them very often. She's just not a croc kid. Um, but she loved the idea of this and being able to take. She's got some charms for her crocs that she doesn't use. Take those and put them on here and move them around and personalize it. Like, okay, they got me. This was $5. The same thing at Target that we saw was 10. So this was substantially cheaper. Now I will say I think it's a little more flimsy, but she didn't really care. Um, we're not going to be hauling it around school every day. If I was taking it somewhere every single day, I may have said, "Wait, let's get the thicker, heavier duty one." But hers is probably going to sit on her desk and every now and then go to town with her. But so this was $5 and these were $3. So in total, like $8, but it's super cute, right? So, and I guess that's the thing of the year because I've seen them multiple places. Okay, now to my son's stuff. He didn't need very much this time. Um, so he has a little bit less. He's got a composition book. Same thing. I let him pick the cooler composition books. This is for math. I mean, math isn't a lot of fun. So if you can have at least a fun book to go with it, it is what it is. He picked this one for his art folder. Same thing. No prongs or anything, but a cool car on the front of it. He picked this for his writing folder. We have multiple cats in this house. They love cats. So, a very cool looking cat with some mirror sunglasses on. But this is his prong folder for his writing assignment. So, same thing. It'll be around for years, and I don't hate it. It's kind of cute. He needed some scissors. Same thing. Where did they go? Our scissors don't leave the house. They generally don't leave either the schoolroom or their room. I don't know where scissors go. If you're a homeschool parent and you have this problem, please let me know that I'm not alone down in the comments, because I don't know where they go. But so he got these. These were like $3. We normally buy the Fiskars brand, but they were like $6 or $7 this year. So I was like, just get the cheap ones, because we'll probably have to buy a new pair next year. Same thing. Don't know where they go. He got some pens. He does do some of his subjects in pens. Now, he has before gotten the gel ink pens. This year I told him I wanted ballpoint because his gel ink was like really dark on some of his stuff last year and kind of went through the pages and stuff. So he switched to these. These were not cheap. Yeah, so well, they weren't that expensive, honestly. These were like $4. So that's not too bad, because the first gel pens that he was looking at were like $8. So I'll take that. Other than that, he got a spiral. This is a one note 5-star spiral. Same thing. I think it was like $3 or $4. No, this one was $3. There were some that they had on the end cap that were $5. So I was like, this one's got to be $5 too. But I think they had a different thing. Whatever. Anyway, it was $3. Same thing. This is a pen and gear. No, this is Sunshine and Sage Co. Spiral. Same thing. It's a one subject, but it's got mountains on it, and I don't know, you probably can't tell, but the mountains are like bumpy. So he liked that. He thought that was cool that the mountains were bumpy on it. So yeah, overall, like I said, they didn't need a ton. And that was nice because they were able to get some personalized stuff and some fun stuff. Because otherwise, if it was going to be $200 or $300, we wouldn't have done this. But let me know if y'all have some favorite things that you have to have for homeschool. Things that we reuse year after year are like binders. We still have binders from many moons ago that get reused. Generally scissors, but not this year. Um, a lot of things. I don't need glue and paper and stuff like that. I've got a lot of those things. So, what is on your homeschool to buy list? What do you buy for each kid? Do you let them get some interesting stuff? And until the next one, y'all go read a lot. Thanks.